I don't know what is the like equivalent of like NTT in America, but you know how you would have like your ISP, which is like the company that provides you your internet. So in Japan, that can be like, I don't know, maybe Sony ISP, or like a lot of the big companies have their own ISPs. Like you can probably sign up with, you can sign up directly with NTT too, although it's more expensive. Most people don't do that. But there's like a lot of different ways to get like Hikari fiber internet from like all these different companies. You compare, like you can get AU internet, you can get Docomo internet, you can get like all kinds of different like companies, right? But at the crux of it all, NTT provides like all the lines that actually connect everything. So even if you sign up through like Sony, for example, you would still be using like NTT's infrastructure to connect to the internet. So instead of asking my ISP to come and fix my internet, I actually had to ask NTT, which runs all of the country's like lines. The NTT staff came to like check my internet. I don't know if you saw my update on Twitter about it. I just wrote it as like a reply, but I was really happy that it was just a small problem. Okay, because I think Americans might be confused about this because I was talking to Bibi and I think it's not like a thing, or like I think chat was confused about this last time too, because I think some people were like, why don't you just plug it into a different jack? And you can't, right? Because how it works is like you have like the apartment building, and then the apartment building has like a central like area, like a box where all the electronic stuff is like centralized for the apartment. So then the NTT like fiber line will connect to the apartment's like centralized electricity, whatever box, and then that box will send the internet to each individual room so that it kind of shares like the same like thing. And then the one that was connected to my room has to be wired to a specific telephone jack in my apartment. It can't be any telephone jack. It has to be one of them. So then usually when you first get your internet installed, you kind of can choose which one you want to install it at. So you can't be like, I want this one that's close to my PC, or I want like that one, whatever, right? So then the one that I could plug it into in this apartment was fixed to the one that was first like set up by the internet person, and then they checked like the cable that was connecting to that one. They said it was kind of rusted. So then they were like, yeah, we'll just change the connection to like the other one. So then they just like plugged it into the other one and then set up the stuff downstairs to be rewired, and then it was all fixed, and then suddenly my upload speed was like 3 times faster than it was before. Yeah, no, this is a VDSL, yeah. But yeah, the cable or whatever the infrastructure directly going to that cable was like rusted, so they just switched out to the different telephone jack and it got fixed. So we're good now, yeah. I use VDSL, Hikari, VDSL fiber. Yeah. Fiber to the building, not fiber to the home, exactly. Yeah. So I think NTT calls this like the mansion type, which is capped at 100 Mbps. Although I think my download and upload is at like 80 now, like 80 upload now, and it's like stable. Thank goodness. So I can actually like before, during the Minecraft collab, when I was first connecting into the Minecraft multiplayer server actually knocked me off of the VTube Studio connection that shows my model with all the other girls. So then they were like, wait, you're not here. And I was like, what? I disconnected. Because connecting to the Minecraft server actually knocked me off of the VTube Studio. And then after when I came back, everything was connected. I immediately could connect into the Minecraft server. So yeah, that's why BB was immediately like, oh my gosh, your internet is really faster, as if she was here and could see how fast my internet was. I thought that comment was really funny. Because I was like, oh, how do you know? Yeah, the way she confidently said, oh, your internet is totally faster. I thought it was really funny. It was because I could connect successfully the first time. It was bad wiring on the last port. Yeah, when the when the technician was like checking it, yeah, it looked hopeful because it looked like he knew what was going on. Like, I mean, they don't really explain anything to you until like the very end, and then they really dumb it down, right? So he was just like walking around like inside to check inside the telephone jack, and then outside to check the box, and then inside again, and then he was done, and they explained to me like, oh, just plugged into the other one. He said that the previous telephone jack had the issue where, like, when I would use the internet in general, like, and also when they were testing it, it would show errors. Like, it would continuously show errors as it was, like, connected. And it generated too many errors where once it overflowed, this is how he dumbed it down for me, but he said once it overflows, and he was dumbing it down in Japanese too, but this is how he explained it. Once it overflows, it disconnects for 20 seconds and it will reconnect to restart, but then the errors will build up again. And then eventually, once you use it too much at the same time, it will literally crash out. Not crash, the internet will crash out and then it reconnect again. So that was what was happening during the New Year stream when we had like 4 VTuber models on screen, and I was like really suffering and disconnecting while also calling in Discord. Oh, no, this is during the Anya watch along. When I was trying to do the Anya watch-along, it was one with Dizzy Senpai. And then I like got disconnected a bunch of times because I had like 2 YouTube videos open, and I was uploading and downloading 4 VTuber models at the same time on BTS, and also was on Discord. Yeah, my internet couldn't handle it. After a while, it like disconnects, reconnects, and I come back. Yeah, that was what was happening. Hi. So I think that should be fixed now, and it shouldn't happen anymore, at least until it does happen again. Yeah, so fingers crossed. I also raised my bitrate a little bit today. I was streaming on extremely low bitrate before to like not strain the internet, and now I increased it a little bit, so hopefully it should look a bit better. Yeah. I mean, it's not really about how much graphics I'm using. Graphics, it doesn't matter. My computer can handle that. It was about the connection. So connection wouldn't make a difference whether I'm in 3D or 2D. It's just about how much data I'm actually sending over the internet. So like the bitrate is mainly what affects how big, how heavy it will be. Yeah. We are so back. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that was like the achievement of the week for me today. I'm just so glad I Karen'd my way into better internet. Because I honestly didn't know who to call to fix it. Because I called the apartment management, they're like, oh, call NTT. And then I'm like, how do I call NTT? I'm not contracted with NTT. Like, what customer service do I'm technically not directly their customer. I have to go through the ISP to get through to them, because ISP is the one that is contracted NTT when I just contracted the ISP. So I called the ISP, and it actually took me forever to connect with the ISP. It actually took so long to reach the ISP because it was one of those customer service centers where you can't talk to a real person until you talk first to a chatbot. And then the chatbot escalates your issue to a chat person. And then the chat person who has to be chatted to during their normal hours then escalates your issue to tell you to call a phone number, which they don't give you in the chat because they will call you when they feel like it. So they'll give you like a day and a rough like time period, and they say they'll call you sometime this day. So then I just have to wait for them. I don't know what their phone number is. And then once they called me, then they were like, oh, we think it might be like a hardware issue with like NTT, so it might be better to escalate it to NTT. And the lady in the customer service was helpful, like when she actually called. By the way, I was so stressed on the day that she called because my iPhone updated, and in the newest iPhone update, there was this option where the iPhone can screen calls from unknown numbers. And then I turned it on, right? I was like, oh, surely screening calls from unknown numbers will help with like spam and stuff, right? But then it ended up screening the ISP's phone call to me, and then they went to voicemail, and I can't call them back because it's a number where like they have to call you back. It's the kind of number where you leave a message and then they call you back whenever they feel like it. It's one of those. You can't just reach them. So I was like, shoot, I missed the first phone call because it screened my freaking phone call. So I immediately turned off the setting because I don't want it anymore. Because I can't call them back. It's so stupid. And so much pain. Like, I was like, oh my God, they gotta call me back the same day. I'm so stressed about this internet thing. And then like, they finally called him back, and she was actually very helpful. Like, she knew what she was talking about. But she offered me like 2 options. One was to escalate to NTT, where NTT will then get a separate person to call me again to ask me what's up, and I have to like reiterate everything I say to NTT. It's like, oh, they can send me a new modem. In case it's a modem issue. I was like, okay, what if it's not a modem issue? No, please get me onto the customer service of the NTT, thanks. So that they can actually come look at the infrastructure, everything. And then I ended that call, and then I had to schedule another call with NTT, who was going to call like the next day between a certain time frame, like a 3-hour time frame. And I had to wait for that call to come. And that call came, and then I had to retell the entire situation to the different customer service agent in NTT. And then finally they were like, okay, we can send over a person to go look at your thing, but it has to be like next week. So this was like last week. So then I waited like a week before they could come and like check it out. But anyway, I really got like passed around all the customer service like channels, bot chat, regular chat, phone call, but only they can call me. I can't call them. Yeah, so then today, after the NTT person came, they actually left me the receipt for today's work, which, by the way, ended up being free, which was great because the NTT lady was telling me how if it ends up being like a big like thing that they have to fix, it might be a paid thing. So just be careful, okay? And I was like, whatever, I will pay. I will throw money at the issue until it's fixed. And then it ended up being free. They just like changed the telephone jack to a different one. So then when they printed the receipt for me, and then the receipt, they were like, yeah, next time you have any issues with like your internet, just call this number to reach NTT directly. And it was like a phone number, customer service phone number at the bottom of the receipt. So I'm going to keep that and no longer have to go through my stupid ISP, which has this roundabout customer service. It's awful. I feel like you really do like a trade-off of like companies that actually have decent like web UI and like web-based like stuff versus like good phone customer service where you can actually reach an agent directly, quickly, and easily. Like you either get no online support but a lot of phone support, or like just like it's so impossible to reach customer service sometimes. Yeah, that's my adventure for the week. Very stressful, but I think for now I've solved this issue and it feels better. There's just less and less people in customer service that you can talk to nowadays. So they're nah. Oh, why don't they just give the direct number? I think the thing is like they just don't allow that.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Because I think if they do that, then a lot of people will call for like small things, probably. Special customer can get the number. Yeah, I think if you are like VIP, sometimes there's like a special hotline, but yeah, not really. It doesn't really happen. Anyway, I'm happy as long as the internet is fine. I don't even need like really super fast internet as long as it's stable, please.
My fellow brothers, in the face of our common dangers, in this winter of our hardship, remember these timeless words: as we can.